For this kind of shot, the amount of the target ball is often better than to dose the English in order to find the right direction. The natural reflection facilitates the execution. The absence of English makes the course more homogeneous on different surfaces, and in this particular case, the position is more open after the point. Here's another example of a natural reflection. Target ball hit 1/2, high attack. This time we add some side English. Here, the natural reflection does not allow to play this point within the zone, so we use the bottom English to find the right course. This cut shot is played simply by hitting the target ball at about 1/2, by hitting above the center of the cue ball. Here again, we find the principle of the natural reflection. The cue ball-yellow ball axis is close to the perpendicular line towards the short cushion, so the player needs to use the yellow ball as a support to chase it, and he must hit lower. This delicate movement is called compensation. Although the player must use the red ball as a support again, the movement is easier than in the preceding shot because it is played above the center of the cue ball with natural English. Here we are close to what is called a half-follow shot. The major difficulty in this point is simply to recognize it. This is a cut shot doubled at the long cushion. It is played easily with natural reflection and some left English. This point can be compared to the previous one, and it can be considered as easier because the red ball is in a bigger zone, which means that the contact zone is bigger. Played with the right shot power, it allows to reposition the yellow ball along the long cushion. Hitting high with right English allows on one hand to create a curve and on the other hand to benefit from a favourable English at the second cushion. The bottom draw shot requires a rapid movement. It is important to hit the cue ball well, since this will determine the incidence. This shot is relatively easy to play, since the entry angle on the yellow ball is very favourable. The long English is very useful to open the entry angle on the third cushion. When you hit a ball rather full, in the centre of the cue ball with maximum English, you slow down the rolling by adding speed to the lateral rotation. Since the ball is slowed down, the reflection from the cushion is also slowed, but the friction on the cloth is intensified, which considerably opens the reflection angle. The bottom English also offers the advantage of slowing down the ball by keeping a strong lateral English. So, the bottom draw allows here to create a long English by hitting the target ball thinner, an important condition to avoid a counter contact on the third ball. This is another example of a long English which finds its importance when touching the third cushion. Here we eliminate the regulation of the amount of the ball and the side English. By hitting the red ball rather full, the player needs to pay attention to the height of the hit to find the incidence on the short cushion. The long English will have all of its importance when touching the third cushion. This shot is simplified by the long English, which considerably opens the angle on the second cushion and allows a bigger margin of error on the third cushion. Here too the third ball is close to the cushion, so it is interesting to use this long English to achieve a larger contact zone. This time it is not the proximity of the third ball that justifies the use of the long English, but rather the simplicity of the shot it allows for. The setting by nuancing the English is particularly delicate and contains various possible sources of error. The left-hand English makes it possible, after touching the short cushion, to readjust the course of the cue ball towards the long cushion. Here, the reverse English is more appropriate than the bottom English via 3 cushions, since it allows to eliminate all risk of a counter contact. Since the red ball is located close to the long cushion, it is very important to combine a top hit with a fast movement, which also tends to position the player's ball close to the long cushion. You have to be careful not to plunge by keeping the cue on a horizontal level. This time, since the red ball is located more distantly to the long cushion, you must think of slowing down the movement by using maximum English. Here too it is important to slow down the movement. On one hand to gain precision, on the other hand to make sure that the English is as efficient as possible when touching the short cushion. Remember that to apply maximum English to the cue ball, you have to hit it at its center level. The smoothness of the shot is also an element of precision. Since the reverse shot is extremely difficult to play due to its thinness, the follow shot may be the best solution here. It makes it possible to apply maximum English to the ball according to the same principle as the long shot. Here is another example showing the efficiency of the follow shot for the reverse English. Being hit very full, the red ball allows the cue ball to double the short cushion before the reversal takes place. The bottom draw by the center is rather rare, but just as efficient for playing a reverse shot. It slows the ball down without altering the lateral rotation. Here's a beautiful example. Since the reverse shot on the red ball leads to a counter contact, the player may choose another reverse by applying bottom draw to the yellow ball, which determines the curve, making it possible to modify the incidence on the short cushion. Since the red ball is close to the cushion, you need to hit slightly lower to add maximum lateral English, which adds the long English to the reverse shot. This time, the red ball is located more distantly from the cushion. So, by playing very high with a bit of English, the follow quality predominates over the long quality. This example shows that it's also possible to play a reverse shot via 4 cushions. The red ball being hit quite full, it allows the cue ball to keep enough English to execute the reverse on the short cushion. We also call reverse shots those shots which, thanks to a counter-English, make it possible to obtain the desired English on the second cushion. Here is an example making it possible to resolve a pretty tricky situation. Here is another example of a reverse shot via 4 cushions. It illustrates that it's sometimes wiser to seek solutions by reverse shots rather than looking for alternative courses via 3 cushions, which are the solution of playing a cushion first shot seems to be most appropriate. This time the arrival is executed alongside the cushion, directly via the short cushion. So the player must hit lower to apply maximum English to his ball and to limit the splitting of the balls. As the distance between the red ball and the cushion is limited, the cushion first shot requires necessarily an almost full amount of the ball. So, it is essential to hit the ball at the top to apply a follow English to the ball, which then presses the cue ball to the cushion. By the way, in this example, the cue ball touches the long cushion 3 times. This time the 3 ball is located distantly to the cushion, so you don't have to apply the follow English to the cue ball anymore. So you have to hit lower and to slow down your movement to limit the splitting. By playing with too much power, the cue ball may run around the red ball. Good observation of the positions sometimes allows you to find solutions using cushion-first shots. Here this is the case, since the cushion-first shot is the best solution for this point. The player must make sure not to play too full to avoid the development of the maximum English. The position of the yellow ball does not allow any more to find a solution on the left side, but by applying a lot of English to the ball, you can find a solution via 3 cushions and benefit from the long English. In this variation, the counter-English allows you to find an arrival via the long cushion. Please note the curve after the impact, which is obtained by a natural reflection without force. Another position, a more frequent one this time, by using the red ball as a support, the player makes his ball describe a curve, allowing him to find the good course. Here again, don't forget to play with only little power, by hitting slightly above the centre. The distance between the yellow ball and the cushion makes this point very difficult. But with an amount of the ball close to 1/2, the player obtains a natural reflection, which is ideal for this course. The left English allows here to re-achieve the desired English at the second cushion. Hitting at the top makes it possible to create a curve after the first cushion, which corrects the incidence towards the corner zone. This position is delicate, since the player must find a solution by playing a double cushion first shot. However, the player has a wide choice in the amount of the ball, between 1/4 and 3/4 of the ball, to obtain the point after the impact. We call this point the umbrella shot. In this triple cushion first shot, the player keeps a better control of his ball by not using any English. This allows him to create a reflection angle similar to the incidental angle. So the player can more easily find a target point on the cushion, or use a more precise calculation system. According to the same principle, playing without English allows better control of the course of the cue ball to execute this cushion first shot. The most difficult thing in this point is to recognize what it is. The execution of the shot is then similar to the preceding shot. A slight bottom English makes it possible here to readjust the cue ball to execute the cushion first shot by a cross table. The speed of the movement is essential. Here is another example of a cross-table shot with bottom English. Since the yellow ball is played very thin, the bottom English operates directly on the cushion. Here too, speed is essential. By hitting lower, the player slows the ball down slightly, which makes it possible to avoid the counter contact on the yellow ball. Please note that hitting low eliminates the curve. The cue ball, yellow ball axis now offers a big enough margin to hit the cross-table shot high, without taking the risk of a counter-contact. Of course, what is valid in one direction also works the other way round, even if the arrival on the red ball is narrower. The cross-table shot, by its nature, closes the arrival angle. The proximity of the yellow ball means that it's no longer possible to hit the cross-table shot high. The cue ball is readjusted by the fine bottom English. Do not hesitate here to play very high on the second cushion and let the curve take its course to score the point. In the chapter about reverse shots, we saw that the top English allows you to press the ball to the cushion. According to the same principle, the cue ball is readjusted here by the English. Accordion shot is particularly difficult because it evolves all the way along the table. The position of the red ball offers nevertheless a comfortable arrival, thus making it possible to compensate the lack of precision due to the power of the shot. Hitting strongly below the center allows you to squeeze the cushion to considerably readjust the cue ball at the end of its course. This is ideal to enlarge the arrival zone. The accordion shot played in width includes a risk of a counter-contact, but the player can also hit it in the length. It is mainly the power of the shot which determines the course. The stronger the shot, the more readjustment. The less strong, the more open. This time, hitting at the top and the speed of the movement create a curve, making it possible to run around the red ball. The yellow ball being hit rather full, it is rapidly followed and the risk of counter-contact is eliminated. This is what you can achieve when squeezing the cushions. The reflection of the rubber is such that it allows an interference for an arrival in the center of the short cushion. Beside the quality of the gesture required for such a shot, the player must play thin enough to avoid the counter-contact. Even if the ball is delicate, the hard shot is suitable. Hitting above the center creates a curve, which makes it possible to readjust to the desired course. The masse shot rarely used in 3 cushions, allows you to describe a large curve to re-establish the necessary incidence for the desired course. Please note that an excess of verticality decreases the precision. Since the white ball is stuck to the cushion, the player cannot hit the yellow ball with bottom English. He has no choice but to hit high, while slightly lifting the bottom of the cue. The right English becomes the desired English at the second cushion. The cue ball recovers here the desired English at the fourth cushion. If he misses, the player closes the position for his opponent. This situation looks desperate if you forget the solutions offered by the broken English. It is an attack-defense shot invented by Torbjörn Blomdahl. Many players would try to run around the red ball in this picture. However, the broken English offers new perspectives. Here, the yellow ball being close to the short cushion allows you to find an original solution by a cushion-first shot. The counter contact is often the worst enemy in 3 cushions, but not so the contact, which owes nothing to hazard. The measurement is very important to position the red ball close to the long cushion. This is a nice defense shot where the cue ball goes back and forth over the entire table before receiving the desired English at the high short cushion. By hitting the short cushion close to the corner, top hit with left English, the player presses his ball at the long cushion, which allows him to achieve at least 3 cushions. Please note the repetition of the cushions. The repetition of the cushion is here obtained by follow English. It is the full hitting that allows the cue ball to keep enough forward rotation to repeat the long cushion. The cue must remain in a very horizontal position. The follow English is just as efficient as the cushion first shot to repeat the long cushion. In this point, the masse shot with repetition of the cushion is most appropriate. The player must not play too vertically to avoid slowing down his ball too much. By playing a clean touch hitting at the top, the repetition of the cushion by the follow English is just as efficient in this example. Many players know this point, but they don't know why they should play it cushion first. But this helps a lot to find the suitable English. This is a very nice shot, which you have to know how to recognize. It offers two options. The first one with Follow English. In the second one, you play the yellow ball thinner, which also allows to execute the shot with reverse English. Well known to artistic billiard specialists, this point nicely illustrates the sweet split curve to come back to the short cushion. If you have recognized this picture, don't hesitate to miss the ball on the way to play a quadruple cushion first shot. This shot is also called the Kuhlemann's shot. In this picture, the cushion first shot on the left side cannot be played anymore. The angle is too bad. So, if you can recognize a natural reflection, you can also find spectacular solutions by using cushion first shots. Here, to play without English allows to better control the course of the cue ball. More difficult this time, the 2-ball being located far away from the cushions. You have again to try the natural reflection with English. This shot also is named after another famous Belgian player, Laurent Boulanger.